The #1 powder seniors are adding to coffee for energy, strength, and healthy aging. Stop. Don't drink your coffee yet. Give me just 5 seconds. I want you to do something right now. Make a tight fist with both hands and squeeze as hard as you can. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let go. Be honest with yourself for a moment. Did your hands feel weaker than they used to? Did they shake? Did your grip feel less powerful than even a few years ago? If you're over 60, what I'm about to share today may completely change how you think about aging, muscle strength, and your morning coffee. Because millions of adults over 60 are unknowingly making one simple breakfast mistake every single morning that may quietly be speeding up weakness, fatigue, stiffness, and loss of independence. And the scary part? Most people don't notice it until everyday things suddenly become harder. Carrying groceries, climbing stairs, opening jars, getting out of bed, playing with grandchildren, even getting through the afternoon without feeling completely drained. But here's the good news. There are simple, affordable things you can add to your morning routine starting tomorrow that may help support stronger muscles, better energy, steadier balance, and healthier aging. And trust me, stay with me until the end because the #1 ingredient shocked even me when I first looked into the research. In fact, one study suggested it may help older adults maintain strength in ways that surprised researchers themselves. But before we begin, if staying strong, independent, and active after 60 matters to you, take 1 second right now and subscribe to the channel. Every single week, we share practical, science-backed health tips specifically designed for adults over 50 without confusing medical jargon, fear tactics, or expensive gimmicks. And before we dive in, leave a comment below and tell me where you're watching from and type these 4 words, strong after 60. I genuinely read your comments, and this community has become one of the most supportive places for healthy aging online. Now let me ask you something personal. Have you noticed your clothes fitting differently lately? Maybe looser around the arms and shoulders, but somehow tighter around the waist? Have you found yourself getting tired faster even when your routine hasn't changed very much? Maybe you used to carry all the grocery bags in one trip, but now you make 2 or 3. Maybe you stand up a little slower than before. Or perhaps by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you feel completely exhausted even though you slept just fine the night before. If any of that sounds familiar, please hear me carefully. You are not lazy. You are not broken. And no, this is not simply what getting older means. What you may be experiencing is something many doctors don't spend enough time talking about: age-related muscle decline. After age 60, the body naturally begins losing muscle mass year after year. Quietly, slowly, almost invisibly at first. And here's why this matters so much. Muscle is not just about appearance. Muscle helps you stay independent. It helps you stand up safely, walk steadily, avoid falls, carry groceries, climb stairs, get off the floor if you trip, play with grandchildren, stay confident, stay capable, stay you. And once muscle loss begins accelerating, everyday life can slowly start shrinking without people even noticing. Walks become shorter, hobbies disappear, confidence fades. But here's what shocked me during my years working with older adults. Some people in their 70s and even 80s were actually becoming stronger, not weaker. I'm serious. Their grip strength improved. Their mobility improved. Their confidence improved. Some were more active than people 20 years younger. Naturally, I assumed they were spending hours at the gym or using expensive supplements. But when I looked deeper, I found something surprising. Many of them had changed one tiny daily habit: their coffee. Instead of drinking plain black coffee on an empty stomach every morning, they started adding a few strategic ingredients designed to better support energy, protein intake, circulation, recovery, and inflammation. Nothing expensive. Nothing complicated. No miracle cure. Just simple ingredients many people already have sitting in their kitchen. One patient I'll never forget was Linda, age 72. Linda came into my office exhausted and frustrated. She sat down, looked at me, and said something I still remember word for word. "Dr. David, I still feel young in my head, but my body feels 20 years older." She struggled carrying laundry. Stairs exhausted her. Her arms felt weaker. But what scared her most wasn't feeling tired. It was losing her independence. She worried she would eventually need help doing the simple things she'd always done herself. Over time, Linda made small changes to her mornings. Nothing dramatic. No impossible workouts. No trendy diets. Just consistency. A few simple additions to her coffee and better morning nutrition. Within a few weeks, she noticed mornings felt easier. She wasn't as stiff getting out of bed. Her energy became more stable. And several months later, her daughter called me laughing and said, "You're not going to believe this, but Mom helped us move furniture last weekend." 72 years old. And it all started with one small habit. So let's begin with number 8. Cinnamon. And I know exactly what some of you are thinking right now. Cinnamon? Seriously? Isn't that just something people sprinkle on dessert? That's what most people think. But many adults over 60 struggle with something they don't even realize may be affecting their strength. Unstable energy. Maybe this sounds familiar. You feel okay in the morning, but by afternoon, suddenly your energy crashes. Your legs feel heavy. Your brain feels foggy. You crave sugar or another cup of coffee just to stay awake. Ceylon cinnamon, sometimes called true cinnamon, contains natural compounds that may help support steadier energy and healthier blood sugar balance. One patient, Daniel, age 69, told me every afternoon felt like someone unplugged his batteries. He stopped evening walks because he simply felt too tired. His wife convinced him to try adding cinnamon to his morning coffee. Daniel laughed at first. He thought it sounded ridiculous. But after several weeks, something changed. His afternoon crashes became less severe. He started taking walks again. He felt more like himself. Just half a teaspoon may be a simple place to start. But what I'm about to tell you next surprises almost everyone because most people think of it as dessert when it may actually support circulation in ways older adults often overlook. I'm talking about unsweetened cocoa powder. Yes, chocolate. Or at least the healthiest part of it. Here's something many people don't realize. As we age, circulation naturally becomes less efficient. Blood vessels may become less flexible, making it harder to efficiently deliver oxygen and nutrients throughout the body. And when muscles don't get enough support, simple things begin feeling harder. Walking farther feels exhausting. Legs feel heavier. You may feel winded doing things that never bothered you before. Unsweetened cocoa powder contains natural plant compounds called flavonols that may help support healthy circulation. Better circulation means your body may move oxygen and nutrients more efficiently where they need to go. One patient of mine, Elizabeth, age 73, loved taking long morning walks around her neighborhood. It was her favorite part of the day. But over time, something changed. Her legs felt heavier. Her energy dropped faster. Every walk started feeling like work instead of joy. She seriously considered stopping altogether. Then her grandson, who had been studying nutrition, suggested she add unsweetened cocoa powder to her morning coffee. Elizabeth thought it sounded ridiculous. Chocolate in coffee? But after a few weeks, she noticed something surprising. Walking felt easier. She wasn't stopping as often to rest. And for the first time in months, she actually looked forward to her morning walks again. The important thing here is using pure unsweetened cocoa powder, not sugary hot chocolate mixes loaded with sugar. Just 1 tablespoon may add a rich flavor many people genuinely enjoy. Now let's talk about something that sounds strange at first, adding fat to coffee. I know, if you grew up hearing fat was the enemy, this may sound completely backward. But hear me out because this one surprised many of my patients. Have you ever noticed you feel hungry again shortly after breakfast? Or maybe tired, shaky, and craving sweets before lunchtime? One reason this can happen is because energy levels sometimes rise and crash too quickly. This is where MCT oil or coconut oil becomes interesting. These healthy fats may provide steadier energy for both the body and brain. One patient, Harold, age 71, constantly felt exhausted before lunch. Every single morning, around 10:30, he found himself reaching for donuts or pastries just to get through the day. His son convinced him to try adding a small amount of MCT oil to his coffee. Harold expected absolutely nothing. But within days, he noticed steadier energy, fewer cravings, better focus. He even stopped needing sugary snacks to get through the morning. If you decide to try this, start small, maybe half a teaspoon, because too much too quickly may upset your stomach. But now we come to one of the biggest mistakes I see older adults make every single morning. Drinking coffee with absolutely no protein. After sleeping all night, your body wakes up needing nourishment, yet millions of adults over 60 drink plain black coffee and call that breakfast. Here's why that matters. Overnight, your body spends hours without food. When you wake up, your muscles are waiting for support. And after age 60, maintaining muscle becomes more important than ever. One surprisingly simple addition: milk or fortified soy milk. And before anyone says, "I've been drinking black coffee my whole life," hear me out. This isn't about ruining your coffee. It's about supporting your body more intentionally. Regular milk or fortified soy milk may provide protein and nutrients first thing in the morning. Barbara, age 76, believed black coffee was the healthiest option because she wanted to avoid calories. But over time, she noticed everyday tasks becoming harder. Opening jars, carrying bags, even holding heavy cookware. Her son, who worked in physical therapy, suggested she add fortified soy milk to her morning coffee. Barbara resisted at first because she worried about weight gain. But after several weeks, she noticed something surprising. Daily life felt easier. She felt steadier, more capable, more confident. Sometimes small habits matter far more than people realize. And now we're moving into something many people completely overlook: collagen powder. Most people think collagen is just about skin or beauty products, but healthy aging is about much more than appearance. It's about staying mobile, comfortable, and capable. After age 60, many adults notice they feel stiffer in the morning. Recovery after activity takes longer. Joints feel less forgiving than before. Collagen contains building blocks that help support connective tissues throughout the body. One patient I'll never forget was Robert, age 72. Gardening had been his favorite hobby for decades. But slowly, discomfort and stiffness started taking that away from him. He told me he felt like his body had become someone else's. Even kneeling in the garden felt exhausting. A retired nurse in his neighborhood suggested adding collagen powder to his morning coffee. Robert was skeptical but willing to try anything. Several weeks later, he noticed mornings felt easier. He moved more comfortably. And before long, he was back outside gardening again, planting flowers, growing vegetables, smiling more. And after 60, staying connected to the things you love matters more than people realize. But now we come to something many people think is only for bodybuilders: whey protein. And before you dismiss this one, let me explain something important. After age 60, the body often becomes less responsive to protein than it used to be. In simple terms, muscles sometimes need more support to maintain strength. Whey protein contains amino acids that may help support muscle maintenance when combined with movement and healthy habits. One woman named Helen, age 69, started noticing something frustrating. Grocery bags suddenly felt heavier. Laundry baskets felt exhausting. She found herself avoiding certain tasks because she worried they would leave her sore or tired. Her son encouraged her to try unflavored whey protein in her coffee. At first, she worried it would taste strange. But after several weeks, she noticed small but meaningful improvements. Everyday movement felt easier. She felt stronger, more confident, less fragile. And sometimes confidence is just as important as strength. But before I tell you about number 2, I want to ask you something. Which ingredient has surprised you the most so far? Cinnamon? Cocoa? Collagen? Whey protein? Let me know in the comments because I genuinely enjoy hearing what people are trying. And trust me, you'll want to hear number 1 because it completely surprised me when I first learned about it. But first, number 2, ground chia seeds. Tiny, simple, and incredibly underrated. Most people throw chia seeds into yogurt or smoothies, but there's one trick many people overlook. Grinding them first may make them easier to digest and use. Chia seeds contain fiber, healthy fats, and nutrients that may support overall wellness. George, age 73, struggled with low energy, stiffness, and unpredictable digestion. Most afternoons, he felt so tired he needed naps just to function. His daughter suggested grinding chia seeds and adding a small amount to his coffee each morning. George expected absolutely nothing, but after a few weeks, he noticed steadier mornings, better energy, and less afternoon sluggishness. Small habits sometimes create surprisingly meaningful results over time. And now we come to the ingredient that shocked even me when I first looked deeper into the research. Turmeric with black pepper. Not turmeric alone. Together. Because turmeric by itself can be difficult for the body to absorb, but adding a tiny pinch of black pepper may help support better absorption. Why does this matter? Because inflammation often becomes more common as we age, and when comfort declines, movement often declines too. You know exactly what I mean if mornings feel stiff or if getting moving takes longer than it used to. Margaret, age 75, thought her walking days were over because of knee discomfort. She feared losing one of the few activities she still genuinely enjoyed. After hearing about turmeric and black pepper, she started adding a small amount to her coffee every morning. She wasn't expecting miracles, but within weeks, mornings felt easier. Walking became more comfortable, and months later, she joined a local walking group, something she never imagined herself doing again. Now here's something important. You do not need to try all of these ingredients at once. In fact, I recommend you don't. Start simple. Pick one or two based on your goals. Want steadier energy? Consider cinnamon or cocoa. Want better morning nutrition? Maybe milk, soy milk, collagen, or whey protein. Looking for more overall support? Turmeric and chia seeds may be worth exploring. And if you're wondering what a simple routine could look like, here's an easy starting point. A cup of coffee with a little cinnamon, fortified milk or soy milk, and a small pinch of turmeric with black pepper. That's it. Simple, consistent, manageable. Then after a couple of weeks, if it feels good for you, consider adding collagen or cocoa powder. Healthy aging is rarely about dramatic overnight transformations. It's about consistency. Small choices repeated over time. Tiny habits that slowly build the future version of yourself. Here's what many people tell me. During the first week, they notice steadier mornings. Less crashing in the afternoon. By week 2, some begin noticing less stiffness or more consistent energy. And after a month, many say they simply feel more capable again. More stable. More confident. More like themselves. Because growing older does not mean giving up your strength, your independence, or the things you love. It means learning how to support your body in smarter ways. So now I want to hear from you. Which ingredient are you thinking about trying first? Tell me in the comments below because your story may inspire someone else here. And if this video helped you in any way, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because every week we share practical, science-informed tips to help you stay strong, active, healthy, and independent after 60. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.